What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Claroos.
And this is Season 2, Episode 8 of The Expanse.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's correct. Factually.
Factually. Hashtag facts. I thought that we were coming up to the end of Season 2, but there's actually 13 episodes in Season 2.
Yeah.
It's a longer season.
Yeah, it's nice. We had some good chats at the end of last episode.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling those will continue through the rest of the season.
Look, all I'm saying is Anderson Dawes isn't 100% wrong. If you want the full length reaction, go to patreon.com/nerd. He's not 100% wrong.
No,
Go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. If you don't, stay here because you're already here and we're about to watch the video. We're a little under the weather, so if we cough, sorry. We will try to keep it to a minimum.
Cough away from the microphone.
Hopefully. Yeah, you stroke that plant.
The fuck?
You stroke that plant good. He's just fondling it. He's just giving a little...
Stop that.
Tickling the balls. Oh, is that, this is a flashback.
I think so.
Is that Julia as a kid?
Julie? I think so.
Nope. No, it's not.
No, this is
Nope.
something completely different.
And that gash on his head. Well done to that makeup artist. That looks great. It's always hard to make it look like the staples are pulling. That's the real trick of it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, te laura con gli for now.
Me looking for my daughter May. She here?
Dinner child here, Bertolota.
Maybe the protomolecule has her?
It's not helpful. Is that like the herbalist uniform? I kind of like the vest, I won't lie.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what started it, but one of the mirrors was destroyed. Fragments started falling.
The mirrors to put sunlight to the plants?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's some magnification tool. Damn, what a way to start an episode, huh?
Yeah. Setting the stakes.
We lost track.
Who is in charge of security at this goddamn station?
That would be me.
Either you're doing an incredibly shitty job or you're no longer in control of the people who work for you.
That's enough.
Just facts. It's a harsh truth, but is the truth.
This is the way it has been until now. No more. I have stolen your secret, Fred Johnson, and I am giving it to the belt.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, and it's the dumbest thing that you could do. Like, yeah, everyone's just gonna have access to all this information, and it's just gonna cause chaos. And
Why would it cause chaos? There's no protomolecule. Just what? You think knowledge of the protomolecule will cause chaos?
yeah,
So you'd think that Fred Johnson should keep it a secret himself because he's the authority on that?
no, until they understand what's going on. You give people
Yeah,
partial
yeah.
information, they fill in the blanks and panic.
Maybe. Or you can have faith in people.
I don't.
Well, that's fair.
It's too hard to think about the future now. You could come with me. We could start over together.
The sound of someone snoring in the back of the scene is cracking me up. I know it's a serious scene and it's a great scene, but that snore is just so funny. Mm-hmm. You could come with me.
Corzon must have been using the station's antennae freeze scan. If you give me access to the antenna control logs, I might be able to figure out where he was looking.
So, Naomi, what do you do when you find out that the thing he was talking to was your
The thing you were supposed to
secret?
destroy. It's probably not that. It's probably Ganymede. But
I don't know. It
that's-
looks like it's that.
Well, but that's probably why Naomi wants to be the one to look for it.
Was she about to shoot that torpedo at somebody?
I don't know. I'm very confused.
sorry I didn't tell you there was more of it out there.
Why didn't you?
'Cause I knew how you'd feel. I didn't want to argue about it.
That's a really honest answer. Holy shit.
Hey, Amos!
Oh, buddy, you do not look good.
So, you gonna give me a hand?
No.
No.
The fuck happened to him?
Seen that little boy pushing that woman. He's pretty fucked up about it.
No more. I have stolen your secret, Fred Johnson. And I am giving it to the belt.
Secrets are bad.
Yeah, but could you imagine if Fred Johnson was like, hey, so there's a alien molecule out there that's just consuming humans.
Then he wouldn't be in this position, though.
He might be in a worse one.
At least the people around him would trust him. Now nobody does, right?
Something terrible is about to happen.
What the fuck? Yeah. Seemed unnecessary.
But you want the Belters to have a weapon?
Not that guy. Belters being oppressed for so long that they're willing to do shit like that is the problem. Not having a seat at the table, being treated the way that they're treated by Earth and Mars is the problem. You can say what you want about the actions.
Took it out on innocent people.
Yeah. That's what happens when you push people down forever.
Sure, I'm just
that
saying
is that is the consequences of Earth and Mars' actions, unfortunately. And like, look,
I agree that is what the consequence is from, but then you can't trust those people because.
So you should keep oppressing them. So they should keep being pushed down by Earth and Mars.
I just don't think Fred Johnson should have given them the information on the protomolecule without having all the knowledge.
All right.
The shout came from Ganymede. There's protomolecule on Ganymede Station.
Shit's bad.
Maybe we can steal another ship to smash into it. We did that already, and look where it got us.
I mean, you saved Earth. It worked.
The protomolecule is out in the world now. We just have to accept that and figure out how to deal with it.
Please note that all refugees will be subject to ID and medcheck immediately upon debark. Tycho TC out.
This guy, there's something going on with him, and I don't know what it is yet.
Well, remember how...
But he's definitely working for him.
He's the leak.
Or one of. I don't think there's a leak, right?
What happened out there is a crime. It should be punished, but there's nothing I can do about it right now.
That's for you.
Jesus Christ.
There's no reason for him to hide. He was working in a clinic as a pediatrician.
Where that guy's daughter was going? Oh my god. Oh fuck! Oh, it's bad.
We have to consider relocation options. Sirius Station.
You want me to go begging to Dawes?
Don't let your pride get in the way.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What do you want?
We want the missile, boss man. All them other missile. If you're not going to use them,
We will.
This is why you don't lie to the people who trust you. Jesus Christ.
It's kind of rude of you to cover up all the other photos, but it's fine.
I feel like it's one of those systems where like
it'll like goes like yeah. It was just I was
it's
like
it's big at first so that everyone can like pay their respects and then it becomes part of the wall.
Yeah.
It's just a soybean.
I was like, he has it in his pocket?
I was about to lose my fucking mind, yeah.
Sobe, I can force open the door, but I need code for launch.
Do what you do for getting done.
Like, where are they gonna fucking launch the missiles?
Anywhere?
Just mass murder.
Yeah, they're not good people.
You know what your problem is?
I'd like to.
I'm gonna tell you. Your problem is the only person you give a shit about is yourself.
I'm gonna tell you.
We help each other. That's what people do. We help. That's why we have a civilization.
So then why don't you help your family? They're right there on Mars where you left them.
God damn you. You gonna throw that in my face? Jesus! Famous!
Yeah, dude, you're being a dick.
A little bit.
Alex is pushing a little bit much, but like...
I don't want to fight you, Alex. Because if we do, who's gonna fly the ship?
Who's gonna fly the ship?
Jesus.
This fucking show. Amos has fucking lost it.
Yeah.
Hey, someone's trying to access the missile controls. Holy shit. Looks like they're preparing to launch.
He was my daughter's pediatrician, that's it.
When was the last time you saw him?
This is every time I go out. Doing something for you, and I need an answer about...
Sorry.
You never answer your phone.
The reception in our house is terrible.
It's so bad.
This was nearly an hour before the mirror fell.
He knew a battle was coming.
Oh, fuck.
Please take me with you.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
He knows it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Look, whatever the hell you're doing, it can wait. We got a serious goddamn problem here.
Someone has tried to launch nukes.
Yeah, a bit of a problem.
Is Amos about to go disarm the nukes? Because that's fucking rad. Fuck this show. I'm so stressed out right now.
I know.
Every episode of this is like, how tight can we twist Nerdy's insides? Let's go, Amos. You fucking lost it.
A little bit. He's like the Reiner of this show.
Can't launch nukes if you can't breathe.
I guess so.
All right. Well. Wow. That.
Best way to do it.
If you can get in the room fast, yeah.
Yeah. You have to have a plan set up.
You have a really quick.
Wow, okay, she doesn't fuck around.
Yup.
Naomi said that you're coming with us to find your little girl. It's a good reason.
Give him 3 or 4 episodes, he'll be a full member of the team.
Yeah. Once everyone warms up to him a bit.
They're just working ass to ass.
You defended Miller when he killed Dresden. How is this any different?
It's different because it's you, not a murderer. It's not the James Holden I know and love.
I need you to remind me of who I
fucking banger scene.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Naomi's ever gonna tell him?
No. I think he's gonna find out in the worst way possible. Hey fam, I'm not dead. I do have to go fight an alien though, so...
Will no longer be welcome on Tycho Station. No free food, fuel, or repairs, and no safe harbor for you or your people.
You still think you're gonna be in charge when I get back?
Wait, why?
Because everyone on that station's after him. He barely survived the last attempt to get in there.
No, I mean, why will the crew of the Rossi not be welcome?
Because if they find the protomolecule, he's not going to give it to Fred. Fred wants it for himself.
Okay, but what if there's no, like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
They're mad at each other. I'm sure they will be fine when they talk, but right now they're upset. You know what I mean? They're having a little lovers quarrel. Much like Naomi and Holden are going to have soon when Holden finds out about the protomolecule.
Yeah, that's definitely going to come out in the worst way possible.
Oh, 1,000%, yeah. Yep.
Oh, boy.
That was a stressful episode of television.
Yeah.
From, like, the opening. The one thing that I was a little bit confused, I guess the opening is how he remembers it. But in the opening, we see his daughter with him when the mirror falls.
Yeah, and she, like, fades. Like, you know, he's, like, remembering her, like, going off to school or whatever it is. Like...
Yeah,
it's a bit odd.
The sequence of those events, I just didn't fully understand what happened, and I'll probably watch it again to try and pick that up before we watch the next episode.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, oh, she's dead, but no, she's with the doctor, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. How much you want to bet that doctor is testing it on kids?
Oh, probably 1,000%. The protomolecule probably is her.
Is her?
Yeah, is the daughter. The one that attacks Bobby.
Oh.
I mean, like, the with the way they did Julie Mao in the first season and a half, like, they allow the characters to kind of have a very emotional attachment to the protomolecule. I feel like that's going to be this... the aggro guy... It is funny that we both, at the beginning, were both like, oh, this must be a flashback to when Mao was younger.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's the garden. No,
it's Julie and it's Mr. Mao and no,
very wrong on that.
Do you recognize that actor?
Yes.
From so many things, right? He's one of those guys that's in like everything, and I don't know his name.
Yeah, like I've seen his face before, and it's gonna fucking piss me off. I just know it. You know, I'll look it up later.
Yeah. Fred Johnson fucked up really bad.
I think there's a reason he didn't trust those guys. Look at what happened.
Yeah, selfishness. And there's a reason why he's barring Holden now, is because he wants a protomolecule. Is because he thinks that because he is the, like, inter-person between Earth and the Belt, that he can do it the way that nobody else can. And that is leading him to keep secrets, which is leading him to lose the faith of the people around him, which has put him in the position that he's in.
I don't know. It felt to me like secrets were being kept for the moment because of the dangerous nature of them and that they don't understand what they're fully dealing with, right?
Right, but if you're going to keep dangerous secrets, then you have to keep them with people that you trust. And he told Diogo, a child, about his secrets.
What?
What do you mean what? He did. He trusted Diogo with his secrets.
Diogo, the kid who told them where the scientist was?
Yes.
He didn't trust him with those secrets. He was just part of the team.
Who was the doctor's guard. He was the scientist's guard. Diogo was one of the people that they trusted with the scientist.
I mean, I guess so. I just thought
the people that you ask to guard somebody who's in a glass box where you can see what he's doing at all times, you're trusting that person with your secrets.
I just figured that he was part of the group. Like, he was just there because he was part of the group. Like, they didn't, single him out.
Part of the group who knew the secrets.
Yeah.
If you want to keep a secret, if two people know a secret, it's not a secret anymore. And the more people that you add to that, the easier it's going to get out. And so Fred Johnson had this, if he wanted it to be a secret, then he needed to lock it down way tighter than to put it in a room that people come and go from.
I mean, sure. I just mean, like, I think that, I do think that Fred should have not trusted Dawes, but should have spoken to him about it. Because...
I mean, but that is trusting him, right?
No. There's a difference between letting somebody who is influential in on your secret to make it seem like you're not trying to hide it from them. I don't think that Fred should trust Dawes completely and
I'm not saying completely, but there's a level of trust in any sharing of information at that level.
Yeah.
And so he had to trust, like, the fact that he didn't trust Dawes at all leads to all of these issues because he lies. He says there's no more protomolecule, we don't know anything about it, but then we know that there's a scientist studying it, and we know that a bunch of people know about that guy.
Yeah.
It's not like Fred is using his most trusted allies. Diogo is some random kid that went on one mission for him, and he's like, yeah, that this guy is going to guard the guy and know the secrets.
Yeah, well, because he was there on the ship, right?
The number of people on the mission to bring that scientist back from that station to Tycho is too high for Fred Johnson to pretend that nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And he pays the consequences of what I think is a really, like, huge mistake on his part.
Yeah, I just mean, I don't think that he should have just made it common knowledge.
But I'm saying, like, you have to share it with, like, Dawes. You have to share it with the people who are...
That's what I said, yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, but in the episode... He fucked up. Like he is much like I think like the Belters spacing the Martians, which is fucking tragic. I'm not saying it's not tragic, and it's definitely the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But that is also the consequences of Earth and Mars' actions, right? Like the mistreatment of people for generations leads to these kinds of events. And I understand where the Belt is coming from. I don't think they're good people, but they're people who don't have any options. And I think the big difference between this situation and Attack on Titan, which we've been talking about a lot, is that our main characters are so closely related to this plot.
Yeah.
And it works for me because it is tied into their knowledge of their situation and their feelings.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about actually the Attack on Titan any more than that because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched it and who might watch it in the future.
No.
But
I just think that, like, that scene for me, instead of, like, coming from a place of necessity, like, they just like picked a bunch of people to murder randomly because
it's not random at all. It's the Earthers and the Martians on their ship.
Yeah, they murdered the people
random.
that they liked less, but like not for any reason. There was no reason to do that.
Yeah, because they don't want to share resources with them.
That was like 8 people.
Yeah, and they don't want to share resources with their who they view as their enemies.
Yeah, I just mean like that's fucked up. It's not like
I know, but it isn't random. It's very intentional. It wasn't like a thing that they did.
It feels random.
They didn't play
because
Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. It was an intentional choice.
I don't mean about who. I don't mean about who. The randomness feels like there was no motivation behind it except evil, right? Like it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like, oh, we only have so much food left. And we're a month away from Tycho Station. Like, yeah, people were fighting over resources, but everyone seemed to be, like, mostly okay. You know, everyone was, like, hurting because they were injured. But then they got to Tycho Station, like, right away. And so it just felt like they were like, no, fuck these people.
Yeah.
Because we feel like it.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's like it's random based on, like...
But that's not random. But there's nothing random about it. Random means that it doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from generational treatment of Earth and Mars towards them. Like there's nothing random about them being like, fuck these people. They ration our water. They space us. They don't give a fuck about us. They just blew up Eros. They just killed 100,000 of our people. Fuck them. We're kicking them out the airlock. That's not random.
I just mean like those 8 people had nothing to do with it. And so they're just
of course,
upset for the sake of being upset and not thinking about it.
It's not for the sake of being upset. They're upset for very valid reasons.
Yeah, but them retaliating doesn't do anything, right? If you're upset for the sake of being upset, then you just do things based on that upset that don't benefit anyone.
I don't understand what you mean by upset for the sake of being upset. I don't know what that means here because they are the reason why they're upset is very clear.
Yeah.
It's not to be upset. They're upset for very specific reasons.
Yeah, but but them being upset doesn't, like, them acting on those actions doesn't mean anything. It's just evil.
Yes, retribution and revenge are never successful.
Yeah.
That's revenge never makes you feel better. That's true.
Yeah.
I think small revenges do. I think like if you revenge on a prank, you probably feel because no one's actually hurt. But revenge at this scale, of course, it doesn't make anybody feel better. But that doesn't mean that the reason why they're doing it is random or just to do it. The reason is still very specific, even if the effectiveness of the action is limited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get why they did it. I don't agree with it. I think it's awful. Like, I would never, but I'm also not in their shoes, right?
I have never felt vengeful towards somebody, so I don't actually get it.
Well, yeah, but we also live in...
Totally,
our perspective on that is particularly skewed.
100%. I'm just saying that, like, that's not an emotion that I can relate to.
You've never wanted revenge on somebody?
No.
Oh, I have.
No.
Oh, I've never done it, because...
I'm not, like,
a
jealous
guilty conscience
person, and I don't understand the I don't understand the, like, literal, like, emotional response of an eye for an eye. Like, I've never been hurt by somebody and felt that I would feel better by hurting them back.
Oh, I have.
Sure. I just, like,
But have you ever been punched in the face?
No.
Yeah. Get punched in the face one time, and you'll be like, I'm going to hit that person back. There's something about it.
Sure.
That I do understand. I think they're going about it the wrong way, obviously. Like, I don't support what they're doing. But within the narrative of the Expanse and the generational treatment of the belt, the way that the belt is responding to that treatment, I think makes sense. And look, I agree with you. Like, I don't want...
like, logic it out. It's just one of those, like, I just can't emotionally relate to it, is what I mean.
Interesting.
Like, I can't pull from, like, my own personal feelings.
That's fair.
To understand how they feel, even though, like, I understand that humans are vengeful, and that's like that is a response that is fairly common.
Yeah. I get why Dawes is doing what he's doing, right? And like I totally get the belt. I think that they make so much sense to me.
I honestly don't think that Dawes. I don't really know what his strategy is here, other than by, like, creating more dissent for him to rise up above.
Yeah, that's his whole strategy. It seems like you understand it pretty well.
But then he's not doing it for the belt. He's doing it for himself. And he has somehow convinced himself he's doing it for the belt.
I don't think he's convinced himself that. I think that he believes that his version of fighting for the belt is the better version.
And so he believes he should be above
Fred Johnson, who's an Earther, yes. Who's only got influence in the belt because of him, which we learned in this episode, right?
Sure. I just mean, like, I don't... If your intention is, like, the best for all of the belters...
Yes.
Then... creating more chaos and dissent is the wrong way to go about that. That achieves the opposite. But there isn't
chaos and dissent across the belt. He creates chaos and dissent in Fred Johnson's power structure.
But
Tycho's nowhere else.
Station, that is a station that houses how many people? Like, those people take over, and suddenly, it's like a coup, and people are being killed.
And the people that were cooing Fred Johnson believe in Anderson Dawes. But
he still shot
if it weren't for Amos turning off that oxygen,
yeah.
Fred Johnson loses, and Anderson Dawes gets what he wants out of that situation.
But he gets chaos, right? These people take over. They're shooting other belters.
They don't care about. People are willing to kill for what they believe in. Like, people are willing. There are people today who would gladly kill for what they believe in.
Yeah, I just mean, like, I don't understand how Dawes thinks that helps the belt. Like, a bunch of belters dying doesn't help.
It does if they do not agree with you, and you need unanimous support to do the things that you want to do.
But then you're not trying to help the belt as a whole. You are putting yourself above it and thinking that you know best.
No, but you're cutting hairs over a few people, right? Like, in the percentage of the belt,
if
Tycho's not 50% of the belt.
No,
Tycho's a small station, a workstation compared to a place like Ceres or Eros.
Still a station with tons of people on it that also, like, employs people.
I think that you are trying to logic a situation that is so emotional, and I think that that's where you're not able to connect these things. 100,000 of their people were just killed, and they don't know what it was. They think that it's Earth. They think that it's Mars. They don't fucking care about 6 or 7 deaths here or there. They are trying to get revenge on
I'm more talking...
a city the size of Minneapolis got nuked by the fucking enemy.
Yeah, I just mean that, like creating chaos within Tycho Station doesn't help. That, like, doesn't...
In what way does it not help? If it gives them control of the nukes...
Because people start attacking one another.
So what? Like, why would they care about that?
Because there's a lot of belters on Tycho Station.
There are some, yes. But they're talking about...
They're mostly belters.
Oh, 100%. There are belters on that station. But Anderson Dawes wants control of those nukes. Because that gives him power in the galaxy. People are going to die. They're at war. In their minds, they're at war. People die at war.
But Dawes didn't take the nukes. Dawes wasn't after the nukes.
He wants them. Yeah, he does.
No, he wanted the protomolecule, which is like an upper hand over the nukes.
But there is no protomolecule right now, right?
I just mean, like, those belters who, like, burst into the room.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we're going to take the nukes and we're just going to launch them, and everyone's going to be at full-scale war, and millions of people will die, including belters, so that maybe we have a seat at the table. Although I don't know how that would possibly work if there's no table to sit at.
Yeah, people don't think rationally all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really... I think that, like, I don't get your point here. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think that, like, you're...
Them, like, breaking in, causing chaos in the station, and launching a bunch of nukes to create an even more chaotic situation doesn't help the belt.
It does if you view the belt as being too docile in a moment where it needs to revolt. And you are trying to be... Like, worst case scenario, they view themselves as martyrs to ignite a fire within the belt.
So they fire nukes and kill a bunch of Earthers and Mars people.
Yeah, and they get killed in return.
And then... Earth and Mars wipes out all the belters because they have the resources to do that.
No, because Earth and Mars can't afford to wipe out the whole belt.
Why?
Because they need the resources that they pull from the belt. They need the water. They need the resource. That's why they are controlling the belt so tightly. Is because the belt is where they're mining water from comets and stuff like that from. That they need to support their 30 billion populations, right?
I mean, I guess, but I just... The way that, like, these... political meetings have been held where they talk about strikes and retaliation and such makes it seem like they will ruthlessly just murder one another without a thought as to who's going to work
every station because one station did something.
If the belt fired the belters want Earth,
yes,
that would, like, destroy
If Tycho
Earth.
Station, no, it wouldn't. It would. Those nukes aren't going to connect. They're not going to hit Earth.
Sure, but if it looks like they are trying to kill everybody on Earth, then Earth is gonna...
What should the plot of the episode have been then? If you just think that, like, the character shouldn't have done anything?
No, I'm not saying... I just... What I'm saying is I can't relate to it. I'm not saying...
But you're saying you can't relate to it, and you're saying it doesn't make sense, and I think that it does make sense, you just can't relate to it. And I think those things aren't the same thing.
I guess it just, like characters didn't seem to think about the long-term effects of what they were trying to do.
I think that they did, though, because the guy has the line where he's like, yeah, if they launch nukes back at us, we die, and it ignites the oxygen that will fuel the Belter Revolution.
I guess.
That's the text of the episode. Like, he literally says it.
Yeah, So
he's very willing to die, right? He's very willing for the retaliation strike.
I know that he is. I just, like... I guess it's just the way that the belt has been portrayed. It doesn't seem like they have any kind of ships or resources or weapons or defense systems of, like, any kind. And so I just feel like aggravating Earth and Mars just means that they, like, can potentially wipe you out. Like,
so they should just live with whatever oppression Earth and Mars force them into.
No. I think that you have to have players like Dawes and Anderson who are willing to...
And Anderson?
Yeah, Dawes and Johnson.
Yeah.
Anderson and Johnson, who are willing to find a way to work with them. I just think that, like, breaking in there to fire the nukes... But that's
never worked. Like that plan goes nowhere because Earth just keeps oppressing them.
Yeah, but now they do have the nukes or potentially the protomolecule, and so, like, them finding a way to like work to like equal footing, I think makes more sense than just like firing the nukes.
Okay. But those people were just at a meeting where Fred Johnson says we're going to give the nukes back. They're upset about that.
Give the nukes back?
Yeah, the meeting with Anderson Dawes, Fred Johnson, and Holden talking in that weird like steam room they were in. And they're like, we're going to give the nukes back, and Anderson Dawes agrees with him. The last episode.
Oh, in the last episode, I was like, I don't remember a steam room.
Belters are upset that Johnson wants to give the nukes back. They've already established they don't want them to give the nukes back.
I guess I see more as that is like a bargaining chip or peace offering, as opposed to
right, and that's how Johnson sees it. That's not how the Belters see it. From their perspective, they're giving up their power in that moment.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
Okay. What?
I thought that they were retaliating over the proto-molecule because they watched the video that like Dawes put out.
No, they're retaliating against Johnson because they don't trust him anymore, because he's lost their faith. The proto-molecule is a part of that. The nukes are a part of that. It all builds up to that. The pressure cooks to the point where they're willing to make that action against him. It's not just one thing. It's not retaliation for a moment. Mm-hmm. It is the fact that he is in charge of the station, and they've been okay with that because they've agreed mostly with what he's been doing up until these last few things where he wants to give the nukes back. He has been hiding that they have the protomolecule scientist. Mm-hmm. He's been doing these things, and now they are watching that video and they're looking at Anderson Dawes and being like, this guy's fucking right. And then the doc guy is sitting at the computer and he hears, oh, we're gonna have to ration resources from our Tycho people because we don't have enough for all of the refugees. And so it's another ratcheting the wheel. And so it got too tight, and so it combusts. It's all of those things. It's not one thing. They're not retaliating for a single thing. It's the slow expansion of pressure in space, and it finally bubbled over.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry. We must feed her. We also need to go rest because clearly we're both not feeling great. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at nerdynightly.
I'm at Claros Polaris.
Yeah. Do something nerdy tonight, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.